Okay, so here inside of the Shopify store, you can see from the 1st of September to the 31st of October, we done $1.2 million, little over $1.2 million. What's poppin', people? It's your boy the Beast of Ecom, and I am back with another video dropping nothing but you already know, value bombs. Today's video is going to be absolutely massive and full of value. I'm going to be showing you exactly how I was able to do over $1.2 million in just 60 days dropshipping with one of my Shopify stores. So I'm going to be taking you inside the Shopify store and also inside of the Facebook ads accounts as well. And also showing you the first few days of how I was testing, breaking down the complete testing strategy, the indicators, what I was looking for, my thinking, and also the scaling strategy as well that allowed me to scale to $1.2 million. At the end of the video, I'll also break down the take home profit as well so that we can be completely transparent. So if you are dropshipping in 2021 or you are planning to, I can guarantee that you're gonna get tons of value out of this video. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. I drop weekly videos showing you how you can make more money with your e-commerce stores, dropshipping stores, and using Facebook ads. If you're a returning subscriber, then it's nice to see you again. Now, before I share my screen and show you all of this value, if you could do just two small things for me. If you could firstly drop a like on this video, it helps out the channel, it gives the algorithm some love and helps boost the video. And second of all, if you could drop a comment down below, any comments that you do have with anything that I go over in this video, I will be replying to as many as I possibly can. So comment down below. Even if you don't have anything to say, drop a comment down below, because again, that helps with the algorithm as well. Okay, so here inside of the Shopify store, okay, you can see from the 1st of September to the 31st of October, we done $1.2 million. And you can see the peak here was 37K, and all the way down here was when we had some ad accounts go down. And I'm going to talk about those ad accounts and how you can safeguard yourself in just a moment in time. But of course, what I want to do first and foremost is make sure that you can see that these numbers are 100% legit and real. But you know, as you can see, ad accounts do go down. Okay. So there, $1.2 million, as you can see, nothing has changed. Now, let me show you the Facebook ad accounts, okay? Because that's important as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these ad accounts, okay? These are basically over the same time period. You can see from the 1st of September to the 31st of October. And this ad account done, spent close to 400K, generated 88K. With a 2.2x ROAS, okay? And then in the other ad account, we had another one again from the same time frame, 1st of September to the 31st of October. And this one done close to $500,000, okay? Of course, Facebook doesn't report all of it. And there obviously were some sales from places such as email marketing, abandoned cart flows, you know, email here and there and stuff like that, okay? But you can see here, again, this was 1.99. So not insanely results, but at this kind of level of spend, you know, it's not realistic to kind of get, you know, your 3x, your 4x when you're spending, you know, 10K, 20K per day, realistically anyway, especially with e-commerce. There are obviously anomalies, but, you know, hey. Now, what I want to do first and foremost is I want to show you the day by day, because a lot of people get confused on, you know, what they should be looking for on those first few days. You know, how do I know I've got a winning product on my hand? You know, what should I be looking at? What are some of the metrics I should be looking at? So this is going to help you. I'm going to go through day by day, basically over the first week, so we can, you know, show you what I'm looking at. Okay. So this was the first day, because if I go on the 31st, you will see there that we spent absolutely nothing, okay? And if I go here and click on the first, right? This was the first day, and I've obviously sorted by amount spent, so these were the amount spent. Now, before I actually do this, let me show you what my testing strategy is, right? So basically what my testing strategy is, in short, is this. So a website conversion campaign, ABO, which is ad set budgets, okay? I like to go 8 to 10 audiences. Now, 50% of those are targeting the US. The other 50% is targeting non-US countries, okay? Then I like to have two creatives or 2 or 3 creatives, and my budget generally is around about $8 to $15 each per ad set. I then of course make sure that I exclude out my 180-day purchases from the store, just so that I'm not targeting the same old people over and over again. And of course those people will be going inside of my retargeting campaigns, right? Then of course we've got IG or Facebook or IG feeds only, which is generally what I like to do, or I've had success with all placements as well. So depending on what I like to do, I either go with all placements or I go with Facebook or IG feeds. Now the goal of this testing strategy is to make sure that you are finding winning audiences and creatives that you can scale and test further. Okay, that's basically it. So having a look at those first day, you can see here exactly like I've mentioned, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ad sets have spent money on that first day, $10 per ad set, okay? This is how I like to test out things. Now, when I mean ex-US and non-US, you can see here just about, obviously I've not, I've blocked out what I was targeting, of course, because it's, the product would be revealed because of the naming convention. But basically, half of these are targeting US, right? And the other 4 will be targeting ex-US countries. Now, all of these ad sets are having the same 4 interests. So for United States, we've got, let's say, for example, this was cat, dog, rabbit, and horse to the US. And this here would be cat, horse, rabbit, dog, okay, for ex-US, right? That's just how I like to test out things. Now you can see here on the first day, okay, we spent $84. We've got 7 sales and a 3.2x ROAS. Now, instantly on the first day, of course, you can make some things can either go great on the first day or bad on the first day. I never take any action on the first day, regardless of how well it started out, because you can never guarantee your further performance based off one day's data, unfortunately. So first and foremost, that's great. What I'm looking at is, of course, the outbound click-through rate. Now, the click-through rate tells me how well that advert that I've got, or the creative that I got, is engaging enough with the people who it's being shown to, and the audience, of course. So you can see here we've got a click-through rate of 2.13. The higher that percentage, the better, because that means that your ad creative on Facebook is working, right? People are scrolling through their feeds, they're seeing your advert, and they're clicking through, which is great. Okay. Now, anything over like a 1% is good. I've had stuff which is less than 1%, but generally you have to have lower CPMs to be able to make it work. Okay. Now, when we have a look at CPMs, again, they're lower than $10. Well, they're about $10, which is great, of course. The lower your CPM is, the more you can essentially scale. The cheaper it is, it's going to be to scale, right? And the rest of these numbers here are pretty much just vanity metrics. All I really then care about is what's my add to cart percentage, right? So what I mean by that is how many people who view the content, okay, who view the product page, are adding to their cart. And you can see 154 people landed on a product page, and 20 of those actually added the product to their cart, which tells me, okay, over 10% of people who are landing on a product page are adding to their cart. Now, just generally the benchmark of what I like to be looking for, I like it to be 10%. So again, if this was 15, then great, I'll be at 10%, but obviously I'm higher than 10% because we're at 20. It's showing me that there's a lot of add to cart buying intent there. And of course, the sales kind of speak for themselves, right? Now, looking at day 2, you can see here instantly we've got more sales, same spend, and we're at a 4.5x ROAS for day 2. So instantly that tells me that, okay, this may be a very good golden winner here. Now, looking at day 3, I'll just click day 3. Is that day 3? Oh no, we haven't clicked on it. So day 3, you can see here we are on a 7x ROAS. So what I've done then on day 2 is I scaled horizontally. I didn't increase any of the budgets. You can see here they're all at $10. And this is something that I always like to do, okay? When I'm starting off a campaign and I get some initial traction, what I will do is I will scale horizontally. And what I mean by that is I will then start to go out and find more interests or ad sets that I can use these creatives for. And that way I can have a load of different, I'm building up like a war chest of ad sets and creatives that I know that work, right? Previously, back in the day, what I would do is I would find something that had like 3 sales on day 2 and I'd try and scale it. Doing that don't work anymore. You know, you just kind of pretty much just jump in the gun. So what I always like to do is I like to make sure that I am pretty much just building up a war chest of ad sets, cold interests. These can be, you know, broad, they can be whatever it may be, but I like to go out and just horizontally scale. You can see here I've added more ad sets to it, okay, to this actual campaign. And if we just can be, if we keep going, you can see here that obviously this was at 7x ROAS. So instantly I know that this is something that I can pretty much just take to the moon. If you have a look at the 4th day, again, still above 3x ROAS with a cost per purchase of 15, right? So pretty much when you're looking at your ads like this, the first thing you want to make sure is that you're looking for is your link click-through rate. So make sure your link click-through rate is higher than 1%. Ideally, I like it to be higher than 1.5%. The higher, the better. Second of all, you want to be making sure that you your view content to add to cart percentage is 10% or around 10%. The higher, the better. And of course, the ROAS is you know, be all and end all. ROAS is king. So they're the metrics that I look at first and foremost. Yes, you can have a look at, you know, what's your CPMs, are they high? What's your cost per click? You know, and all these are the metrics. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that I instantly look at to tell me whether or not I'm going to have a winning product or not. Okay. Now, when it comes to scaling, let me just show you what I've done with scaling. What I like to do is I like to identify the winning audiences that have 5+ sales, okay, and at least $50 spend, and then move them into CBOs. That's how I like to scale. It's very simple when it comes to scaling. It's not rocket science. I don't think it's rocket science anyway when you've got a winning creative and you've got a winning audience. Everything else is pretty much secondary. They're the hardest things. The winning product, the winning creative, and the offer. Getting those aligned is way harder than actually scaling itself. So back to the actual method. I like to take those with 10 million in size, in audience size, and put them into their own CBO. Generally, what I like to do is I'll just get the interest and I'll dupe it, you know, say 3 times, okay, and give that its own CBO. Okay, so I'll have 1 CBO, 3 ad sets, and the best 2 creatives inside of it. Okay. Now, for those audiences which are under 10 million, what I'll do is when they get to the level whereby they've got over 5 purchases and a lot of spend, where I've got enough confidence level that I can take that product forward, take these interests forward, into a CBO, I will consolidate them into 1 ad set, okay, and then dupe those into a CBO, right? And I'll give you an illustration of that in a moment in time, actually, because it might sound a little bit dodgy to picture. The budget can pretty much vary based on kind of like your performances, but a set rule that you can go by is like kind of 1 to 3x per cost per acquisition. So what you're currently getting per creative, and I'll just put a little illustration there. Now, in terms of scaling CBOs, I generally like to just scale them by increasing the budget by 20 to 30% every you know, profitable 4 to 5 days. Okay. Now, if I have a look inside of this ad account here, that had most of the spend, I generally like to sort things out in. So if I do TOF, okay, TOF for me is top of the funnel. So everything which is just completely cold audiences or lookalike audiences, anything which is just completely cold. And you can see at the top we were converting at 2.6 16 ROAS. And if I go middle of funnel, our middle of funnel was 3.3x, which was everyone who has pretty much like, you know, added to cart, didn't purchase, those kind of things. And if you go to bottom of funnel, you can see here we're at 5x, and this was everyone who was pretty much who added to cart, didn't purchase. So that's pretty much how I do things. Okay. Now if I exit off this to give you an illustration of what I just mentioned with those CBOs. Okay. So say for example, this is the campaign here, WC, and these were all of our interests. Okay. 4 here and 4 there. Let's say, for example, these were our non-US, okay? And over here, this was our US ad sets, okay? Now, let's say, for example, we've got, again, dog, cat, rabbit, horse, okay? And again, here on this side, we've got dog, cat, rabbit, horse, okay? So these ones are all going to the US and these ones are all going to non-US. Let's say, for example, this one was working really, really good, okay? And this audience is 10 mil, right? And let's say this one and this one was working really good. But this one's only, let's say, 6M, and this one is only 4M. I know this drawing isn't the greatest, but bear with me here. So let's say, for example, that one's 4M, this one's 6M, and that one's working great as well, okay? So what I then do is this one here that was working really good, what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll create a new CBO, okay? And I will then just have 3 ad sets. And remember, all of these are just dog, okay? With whatever our best creatives were, okay? Creative 1, creative 2, and you get the gist, okay? So that would be our CBO there, right? Now for these ones here, down here, you just grab a red. What I would then do is down here is I'll create another CBO. This is for audience sizes which are under 10 mil. Facebook loves consolidation. They're putting in loads of, like nowadays in Facebook, they've got like a page ad limit as well for 250 ads. So they're pushing towards consolidation a hell of a lot more. So, having tons of ad sets here and there and duplicating loads of stuff isn't really the way to go. It may work, but Facebook, in the eyes of Facebook, it's not the greatest way to scale, okay? And I've also found that this has been working great as well. So CBO, and what we would then do is we would have, again, 3 ad sets, okay? You can do 5 if you want to as well. But again, we're putting both of these together. So remember this was cat, remember this was rabbit. What we would do is we would have cat, rabbit in the same ad set, cat, rabbit. Remember this would be cat, rabbit as well. And now all of a sudden, all of these, okay, are now 10 million in audience size. Okay, so rather than them being just 4 on their own and having a CBO for 4 and then having this one as its single CBO, we've got more room to scale within this CBO, okay? And then obviously there you would then have, again, your best creative. Now again, with these creatives, you can pretty much, I generally only have 1 video, and then to start out with, I would have like 1 video, okay? And then I would have 2 different thumbnails, okay? So I'd have 1 video, 2 different thumbnails on these, and then the same ad copy as well across the both of them. And then, that's just a test. Going forward, you can, of course, test out different 3-second scroll stoppers. You can then go and test out new different creatives. You can then go and test out, different call to action buttons, all those kind of things. But to start off, you just want to know which audience is working and which creatives are working from the off. So that's how I like to do things, and I call this the consolidation scaling method, okay? Now, a few more things that people wanted me to answer inside of this video, okay? And I'm not going to go over too much of how to find a product. I've got 2 videos which explain both of the methods, but I'll mention it really quickly at the end of this video. OCU, of course, making sure that you are, upselling. Make sure that you are always upselling so you can improve your average order value. It's going to allow you to spend more money to acquire the customer, right? So you can see here, I like to use OCU, which is one-click upsell, right? And you can see here some of the results that we were getting. Basically, the post-purchase is when someone buys the product, and after they've paid for it, they will get an offer. And in the offer, I generally just like to offer the same product but at a discounted price. And then if they say no to this one, then what I like to do, of course, is do what's called a downsell. Now in that downsell, it's the exact same product but even bigger discount. But I was split testing here 2 different products, okay? But most of the time, this one here, the bottom one, was working the best. And if they say yes to this first upsell, then we give them another upsell, which again is another related product, okay? Now, shipping lines. Some people were asking me what sort of shipping lines and how do you handle fulfillment at such scale. Now, first and foremost, I always test off AliExpress to start off with, okay, just to get my feet in the water, less expenditure. You know, you don't want to burn money buying bulk in stock and then not being able to shift it. So I always test with AliExpress, but at the point now I'm really good at spotting what can work and just switching to an agent. Now, you can't scale with AliExpress, so do not scale using it. Once you get like 20 to 30 orders, go ahead and find yourself an agent. Two ways you can go and find yourself an agent is reach out to your AliExpress supplier who are, who are already taking your orders. Essentially, they know that you are, they know that you're making money, and they know that you are, confidently selling their product as well. So you can do that and ask if they use Diane Exalmi. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what we use to connect to Shopify so that they can fulfill. Or you can ask for referrals in Facebook groups, okay? But again, do your due diligence in terms of you don't want to get scammed or anything like that. One little point I will jump in there as well is recently what I've been doing for other smaller brands that I'm working on is I've been reaching out to Alibaba suppliers as well and asking them, are they open to doing dropshipping? And surprisingly, some of them have said yes. So, again, you don't really have any record to go off. But of course, if they're manufacturing the actual product and they're open to dropshipping, because as of now, dropshipping is absolutely massive. It's so well known. They may be open to doing some dropshipping one by one with you. But what I generally find is that they don't really have that many good shipping options, because they don't really ship, one by one on a daily basis. So they don't get the cheaper prices. But anyway, I digress. But again, if you are, what I was using then for this is I was using USPS Fastlane to United States, and that was 8 to 15 days arrival time. Was using Royal Mail to the UK. Of course, I'm not selling to the UK as of now because of VAT. And then 4PX and Unexpress for other Euro countries, which again was 10 to 17 days. And for other stores that sell higher ticket products, I like to use DHL. And just include it if they order over, $300 or $200. Now, in terms of AliExpress, ePacket is kind of like no longer. I don't really see it anymore. But AliExpress standard can be okay. But again, the faster you can move away from AliExpress, the better. And of course, when you're working with an agent, you can do so much more in terms of, getting custom stickers made to go on your product, getting the product branded, and also getting the custom boxes, packaging, and those kind of things as well. So hopefully that has answered all of your questions. Let me just break down the profit really quickly, because I said that I would do that at the end of this video. So you can see here the total revenue, 1.2 mil. And from the ad spend to the store ROAS of what we spent to what we took in, 2.44 ROAS. You can see there the breakdown of the two ad accounts. We've got the revenue, we've got the ad spend plotted there, COGS, which is the cost of goods. Okay, so cost of goods of actually shipping the product out. Fees, of course, which is transactional fees from Shopify, PayPal, etc. And I've got my VA fees as well for what I had to pay over those 2 months. And I spent close to $1 million, and we took home 278,000, close to 278,000, with a profit margin percentage of around about 21%. It was higher in September. October, of course, CPMs kind of spiked due to obviously November being next, Q4 and those kind of things. And of course, those ad accounts went down as well, which again, when ad accounts do go down, they do generally push up your CPMs as well. And one final point, just to wrap up this video, if you are scaling at this level, make sure, of course, you have 2 ad accounts at least to be scaling over, for if one of them goes down or 2 of them goes down. I generally like to scale over 2 or 3 so that you've got some backups, and make sure that they are also in different business managers if possible. So hopefully that helps you out. Now, I know a lot of people will want to know how I actually found the product. I'm not going to go into too much detail because the video will be way too long. I've got 2 videos that I'm going to link up here so that you can go and check out the 2 methods that I've been using. But I actually found this product on AdSpy. And again, if you want a link for a free trial for AdSpy with some discount, there'll be a link down below. But I found it and seen that it had this, it didn't solve a problem. It was just a cool, quirky product. But of course, I knew that I could do a much better job with it, with my ad creative, with my store, with my marketing skills. And that's one thing that you can be looking at, is finding products which you know you can improve upon and take those ones, regardless of if it's got 10,000 likes on it or anything like that. Okay, so that's how I found the actual product. And in terms of the video content, the supplier itself, my supplier, when I showed him the product, he actually was able to get some video content from the supplier, from the manufacturer as well, that I was able to use. One thing I always do before I actually scale massively is I always make sure that I get my supplier to send me the product. So that way I've got the product, I can take video, custom content of the product itself, pictures here, there, and all those kind of things that you can use on your store as well, which is going to separate you from absolutely everyone who may be selling the same product as well. And of course, if they rip your content, then you can drop them a DMCA. So hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did and you enjoyed it, please do of course drop a like on this video. It helps out the channel and helps the video grow. And of course, drop a comment down below with any comments that you may have. I will be replying to as many comments as I possibly can. So drop a comment down below. Again, if you don't have a comment, just comment for the algorithm. If you haven't got a copy of my 100% free dropshipping ebook, then the link for that will be down below. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. Go and click it, go grab it and read it. Now, if you want to learn more from me personally, check out my Ecom Beast 2.0 course. There'll be a link for that down below. And if you come from YouTube, use the code YouTube100 and you'll get $100 off the course. Hit me up on Instagram, drop me a like, drop me a DM, drop me a comment, and we can try and connect on there. But that is it for this video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.